Yo, brother, you're at home with a geek? I'm Mark, aka the little black dude. It's December. December for a lot of people is all about Christmas. Not me. Sure, I buy Christmas presents and exchange gifts with my children, but the holiday itself is not my favorite. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Eat a bunch of food and then take a nap. However, there is one thing I love more than anything about the holidays. Christmas specials! No matter how old I get, nothing makes me happier during this time than watching the Christmas specials of my youth. So I'm going to spend some time talking about some of the ones I love. This is the closest to the Christmas spirit I get. Geekmas Spirit, I call it, which I express despite my Grinchiness during December. Let's dive into one of the less well-known but still likely popular specials, A Garfield Christmas. In the 80s, Garfield, created by Jim Davis in 1978, had a total of 12 specials like Garfield's Halloween Adventure and Garfield's Thanksgiving. A Garfield Christmas, which aired on December 21st, 1987, was in the same vein. Both the Thanksgiving and Christmas specials were released as books before being made into TV specials. I owned the Garfield Christmas book as a kid, so when I saw the special, it was particularly interesting that it adhered exactly to the story in the book. As in, the dialogue is exactly the same. Except for the songs added for the special, of course. Charming and silly are the words that come to mind with any Garfield special. But this one has my fondest memories. Garfield's dream of the gift-giving Santa chair will always amuse me, since it's the way most kids think around Christmas time. But the song Gimme, 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 performed by the amazing Lou Rawls, drives the point home. There's tons of gifts coming out left and right, and it's so well put together. As an opening, you can definitely do worse. Garfield spends much of the rest of the opening doing what he does best, dunking on Jon, messing with Odie, and being greedy and fat. He knows what his thing is, and he does it well. According to an interview with Jim Davis, Jon Arbuckle's family is based on his actual family, apart from Grandma, of course. Knowing this made it even easier to relate to. Most people who visit family for Christmas have, these kinds of experiences and similar stories to tell. Jon's mom cooks up a storm for the family meal. Jon's dad is an old farmer type. Reminds me of my grandfather. And then there's Doc Boy, Jon's younger brother. I'm still not sure why he's called Doc Boy, but he hates it. They have the common sibling rivalries that many siblings have, but Christmas is their common ground. And Grandma. Oh, Grandma. This was the first time I ever came across the active, cool, and spunky grandmother, but it definitely wouldn't be the last. We get similar ones in Nickelodeon's version of Doug. We get Little Red's grandma in Hoodwinked, the fairy godmother in the Shrek series, and one of my favorites to say, Alice the Great from Little Bill. Jon's grandma does 100 sit-ups every day, won first place in the Greene County State Fair for her cooking, and can play a mean piano. Characters like her happen, but not often. The story itself is relatable to anyone who has family gatherings for Christmas. Traveling to relatives' houses, catching up before sitting down to eat, and, all that stuff. Even though this is a Garfield special, Jon actually takes center stage with his family. Mom making dinner and Grandma interfering. Doc Boy saying the blessing for dinner and taking it too far. And Dad's annual reading of Binky the Clown Who Saves Christmas. It gives the whole air of tradition that many families have. Even when they don't really make sense, like reading a children's book to your adult children, or their inability to sleep waiting for the time to open presents. But the scenes have charm, and they can stand on their own. That doesn't mean that Garfield isn't important, though. His moments all involve Grandma and Odie. Garfield adores Grandma since she lavishes him with attention. She whiled away many a night stroking her cats, so he brings a special comfort no one else can to her. Of course, Garfield is down with this. Later, while he's at the barn with Odie, he comes across some letters addressed to her. They were letters from her husband when they were young. He knows that this is the perfect gift for her, saying he kind of fell into them. The C plot with Odie, searching all over the farm for what seems like random items, is totally in character. Odie is the stereotypical dumb dog, but this special accentuates his heart of gold. He spends most of the special putting together a gift for Garfield, a scratching post. Hands down, the most heartwarming moment of the entire special is Garfield's appreciation for this and for Odie. You may give the dog a hard time, but they have a love for each other that surfaces now and then. I may not like Christmas as an adult, but as a kid, this was how I saw the holidays. Gatherings of family, food, and gifts. Togetherness that feels all but forgotten in our modern society. Sure, we have tons of people who make a big deal about Christmas, but this year's been vastly different. Knowing what the holiday should feel like can carry us through these difficult times. So ends another special that brings me back to how I used to feel. But the Geekmas Spirit still needs some strengthening. Next time I think a more traditional special may foot the bill. Or possibly foot the ball. Thanks for checking out this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and share it with your geeky friends. I put up new stuff all the time on this channel and on my second channel, Inside the Geek. You are welcome there. I also encourage you to check out my podcast, The Little Old People Podcast with my good friend Chibi Mythos. Links for all of it is in the down low. But until next time, this is the little black dude. Put your fist up with me. Stay geek and proud.